Good morning, students. Welcome back. I hope you all are well. So, today I'll take the chapters according to the reduced ICSE syllabus 2021. So, according to the syllabus, the first chapter contains all the chapters of class 9. That means this is a revision of class 9th, from which we have already discussed object-oriented programming, introduction to Java, data in types, operators, mathematical functions. Now today I'll take the chapter 1 unit 5, which is input in Java. So in this chapter we will discuss that how many ways we can take input by the user. So first let me clear what is an input. Input means to provide data to a computer for processing. So whatever we input to the computer for programming, so that is called input here. While writing a program, we use input statement to accept data from the user. Hence, input statement enables user to enter data at runtime. So we will take input by the user at the runtime. So the different computer language have different syntax to input values. Java language allows user to enter data for processing in the following ways. First is using function argument, second is using input stream readers, and third is using scanner class, and fourth is using command line argument. So these are the way. So first we will take using function argument. Using function argument, this is one of the method to accept the value from the user at the runtime. So the variable whose value are to be input must be provided as argument to the main method. So whatever we want as an input, we can take it as a parameter in the main method. Here you can see the syntax: public static void main, and in bracket we have write the two integer values as a parameter. So int a, int b. So that means this method wanted to accept two integer values. So we have to create this method to accepting two integer values by the user. So the above function will accept two integer number from the user. The output of the program is obtained on the screen after execution. So here program should be there to explain the things. So here is the program. So when you read a program, you first clear that how many values it will be taken. So write a program in Java to accept the number of days, and so the question is we have to accept the number of days. That means it is of integer type. Should clear about the type also, and displays result after converting it into number of years, number of months, and the remaining number of days. So the question is, you have to clear it first. The question is, you have to take input days as an input from the user, and you have to convert that days into the number of years, number of months, and the remaining days. So assume if the number of days is 400 days, so in 400 days we have to divide the total years, the months, and the remaining days. Okay. So first, public class days. If you want to create a program, first we have to write the class name followed by the syntax, followed by the keyword class here. So here class is a keyword which is used to create a class, and days is a class name. Next, class will start with the curly braces. See, curly braces here. Now the next is method, is the main method. Public static void main. Here is argument is given, one integer type of argument is here. So this will accept, this A will store total number of days, okay, at the execution time. Now see the variables to hold the result. Here is B, all are the integer variable, B comma Y comma M comma D semicolon. So we can declare variable, multiple variable of same type in a single line separated by commas, and the line end with the that semicolon which is termed as terminator here, okay. So next, Y stores A divided by 365. You already know A stores total number of days, okay. So first we have to divide it by 365 because 1 year equals to 365 days. So Y will store total number of years, okay. Next, after holding the year, next to access the remaining number of days. When we have calculated the years, next we should hold the remaining number of days, which can be done by this mod symbol. See, this mod symbol is used, division is used to quotient, to find the quotient, and this mod will use to find the remainder, okay. So when it use A mod 365, then it will get the remainder, okay. So B will store total number of remaining days, okay. Next to calculate the month, minimum days in month is 30. It's not a perfect program, but it is simply you have to make it clear how to find the quotient, remainder and all. So next, B which contain here the remaining days, B divided by 30. So this will find the total number of month, okay. So now we also want, after getting the month, we also want to know how many remaining days. So same, we have divide B using modular symbol, B mod 30. So this will get the how many remaining days after getting the month, okay. So D will store the remaining days, Y stores number of years, okay. Here M will store number of months, and D will store number of days remaining after getting year and month. Now next is to print the result. Here system.out.println is a method which is used to print the messages to the screen. Here system is a class, should be written as, should be in capital letter, and you must clear that you all know that Java is a case sensitive language, so you should clear about the uppercase and lowercase. So class, if it is starting from the first line, class should be in small letter, public static void main, all are in small letters, but string S is in uppercase letter. Here system S should be in uppercase letter, and rest will out.println should be in small case letter, okay. System.out.println is used to print the result on the screen. Here whatever you want to print on the screen as it is should be written in double quotes. So here the number of years equals to will be written as it is the screen and plus y. If you want to add more than one messages, you can use plus symbol here. Okay, this is used for concat. So here y stores total number of years, so here we will use y. Okay, next printing statement, we'll come to the next line. System.out.println, again the number of month as it is, it will print, and which is stored by the variable m. And third printing statement is number of days, which is stored in the variable d. Okay, so this is the program by the function argument. So whatever we have to this is the function argument, whatever input we want to take by the user, so we will write that argument in the main method here. Like here we have to take one integer value, so same if you want to take more than one value, you can take it and separated all the variables using comma. Okay, so this is the one method through function argument. Let's come to the next one. So next is input by using stream class. So input of values by using input stream reader class. Use the following steps. First, input stream reader class is available in java.io package. Hence, first of all, we need to import this package by using the statement. So you should know what is a package. Package is a collection of classes and functions. So whatever functions or class you want to use in your program, you should import it first. So first we will import the package which contain the input classes, which is java.io. Here the line is import is a keyword which is used to import the needed package to the program. So import java.io.asterisk. Here asterisk is treated as wildcard character through which you can use all the classes and functions of the package java.io. Okay, so next step is in the main function create object of input stream reader and buffered reader. We have to write these two lines when you want to take input by the input stream reader. Input stream reader, see, as it is you have to write. The capital letter should be in capital, small should be in small letter. Right here, input stream reader, no space is given. I of input, stream, S of stream, and R of reader should be in uppercase. Then read is here object which temporarily hold the whatever you taken by the keyboard, the values it will be hold. Okay, input stream reader read equals to new. So new is a keyword which is used to allocate the memory for an object. Here input stream reader system.in. System.in is a method which whatever you will take input by the keyboard will store in object read here. So total system.in is input method here. For input we use system.in method. Next line is buffered reader in. Here buffered reader B and R capital rest are in small letters. N is an object equals to new buffer reader. So whatever taken in stored in read object, it will passes as an argument and is stored in object in here. Okay. Okay. The object name like read and in can be any word as per the user's choice. It not fixed here. Read and in is not fixed. You can take whatever variable you want here, but whatever variable name it should be used for this cannot be used to give the other name. That means you cannot use it in other class or variables name. So it should be any according to the rule, variable naming rule. You can take any variable name here. Identifier name should be naming rule should be followed. Okay, now let's come the next. The different types of values can be input in the following. So syntax you should know. For accepting the values through input, you should know the syntax for input taking value of different values. There are different syntaxes to use. For integer, for character, for string, for float, for long, there are the different syntax for all the other different data types. Okay, so you can see, to accept an integer. So if you want to take integer value, accept integer value, then the int n which hold the integer value. And if you want to take integer value, first you have to give the message, enter a number, integer number, and here integer dot parse int. I is capital, rest no space, and rest lowercase letters are here. And in parameter bracket argument is in dot read line. Read line is method which will read whatever is stored in object in here. Remember, buffer reader in, which is store the values inputted by the keyboard by the user. So in dot read line will read the value, and whatever will take input, whatever will input by the keyboard, it will in double quote. That means it all will be in string type. It need to be convert to their desired type. So if you want to input 12, which is integer, but when you input it, it will be in double quote. That means double quote, 12 will be written in double quote like a string value. So it need to be converted in integer. That is why we are using the method integer dot parse int to convert that string type to integer. Okay, so read line will read the value stored in object in here, and it will convert that string will convert it to the integer. So if we want to take integer value, the line should be written integer dot parse int in bracket in dot read line method. Okay, so next, if you want to accept a decimal value, that means if you want to store the float values, then the method will be float here, float dot parse float in bracket in dot read line. Okay, float f should be in capital, rest will be in small letter, and read line L should be in capital, rest will be in small letters, no space. Okay, next, decimal fractional up to 64 bits. So then we have used double data type, and for double we have to use double dot parse double, D capital, no space, in dot read line. Okay, so now if we want to accept a character, then we have to use ch as a character type variable, then in dot read method and convert that in character type. Okay, now the next is to accept a string. So if you want to, you already know whatever you input through the keyboard, it will be of string type, so no need to conversion, directly we have to read it. So we have to write simply object name, which is in here, in dot read line, just read it, and stored whatever the things data, it will be stored in variable here str. Is it clear? Now come to the program. So previously we have to use input stream reader for input, but nowadays we are using a scanner method for taking input by the user. So but you should know all the methods because all are in your syllabus. So you should know how to take input through the input stream reader. First we have to make an object of input stream and buffer reader. Then we have convert whatever will stored in an object. It will be read and converted into the desired type. That means integer dot parse int for integer, float dot parse float for float, and for double it will be double dot parse double. For string simply no need of conversion, just read it, object name dot read line. Okay. The question is, a class contains B number of boys and G number of girls. On a rainy day, B a number of boys and G a number of girls are absent. So program to input the values of B, G, BA and GA, calculate and display the following. The first, percentage of girls present in the class. Second, percentage of boys present in the class. So we have to take input that total number of boys, total of number of girls, and in rainy day the number of boys and number of girls, and according to this we have to calculate the percentage of girls and boys present day. Okay. To find the percentage of girls and boys present in the class, the question is, so first step to take input by the input stream reader is to import the java.io package. So first is import space java.io dot asterisk semicolon. Okay, first step is written. Now next, to create a class name here is present followed by the keyword class, curly brace on. Next method is public static void main string args. Here throws IO exception. For handling input output exception, we have to write it in the function argument here using keyword throws. Okay. So this is must written in the input stream classes. So the variables is int G, B, GA and BA. Variable name is already given, so you have to use the same variable name for the programming. And for percentage, output variable name is not given, so you can take according to your choice. So it will be in float, because percentage we have to calculate the percentage, so should be in decimal, can be in decimal, so float is here. Percentage of girls for storing PG, PB, percentage of boys. Okay. So next step, to create an object of input stream reader. So we have to write input stream reader read equals to input stream reader system.in. Second, buffer reader in equals to new buffer reader, and pass the argument read. So we have to take input. First we have whatever we want to take input, give the message first. Enter number of girls and boys of the class. Both are integer type. So integer dot parse int in bracket in dot readline method symbol. Second, B integer dot parse int in dot readline and the method symbol. Next message, enter number of girls and boys absent in the. So next method is for entering the number of girls and boys absent in the class stored in a variable GA and BA. Okay. So next we have to use the formula for calculation of percentage. The result wanted to be in decimal, so here typecasting is used, float as in a bracket. Next, the formula is G minus GA, that means total number of girls minus present day number of girls strength divided by total students, that means girls plus boys multiplied by 100. This is the formula to calculate the percentage, and exactly we want to find the percentage of girls strength, today's girls strength, so G minus GA we have to use it. And same is for the boys. And now we'll print the result. Percentage of girls present in the class stored in PG, and percentage of boys present in the class stored in PB. And the message for printing, we have to use the same method, system.out.println. Okay, now this is, so now today we have learn about what is an input and how many ways we can take input by the user. We have discussed through the function argument we can take the input. Second, we can take input by input stream reader. And now, so that's all for today. I'll continue the chapter in the next video. Till then, bye and thank you.